What's up, people? Perry here with another episode of WildStyle. Now, to get this whole thing started off, I've been working a lot lately on this whole farm thing, and to be quite honest with you, it's kind of broken my brain a little bit, especially with the whole redstone thing. It's been a little bit of a mess for myself personally. Just trying to figure out how to do everything. I'll show you that in a little bit, but thanks to your comments, it's really inspired me to kind of change things up. And I think what we have working right now is something that will work well for us. So a big thanks goes out to Trooper64. He was one of the first comments that I saw, and he said that hey, why don't you try flipping the pistons? Well, I had the pistons set up upside down before, so they push downwards. So instead of doing that, he suggested, why don't I have them buried in the ground so that they, push up, so that when they come back down, they release the water. And I thought to myself, dang, that would have been a really good idea. To do that, because I wanted to keep everything kind of hidden away. Never mind keeping the pistons up above ground, but it's one of those things that when you're trying to figure things out, it runs through your head, or you get it stuck in your head that you have to be this way or that way. But I thank you for the comment, Trooper64. However, somebody else came along, and I'm going to pronounce your name wrong, and I'm sorry. The Orlengos. I'm trying to think that maybe it is a Spanish origin. I have a bad Spanish accent. I'm sorry. But the Orlengos, he mentioned to me, hey, Perry, I don't know if you would like to rebuild the mechanical part of your farm, but here's a little tip. If a dispenser has a water bucket inside, and it goes on to say that, you can use dispensers in order to do what you need to do. And I thought instantly to myself, dang, that is a brilliant idea. Why didn't I think of that? So I went through and I did a lot of harvesting of string, because you got to make bows for these things, I found out. And, that took a little bit of a while to gather up, but we have 15 dispensers in total. All of them have water buckets inside, and so I got this little automatic setup here. It's all controlled by this one button. So let's go through and let's just take a look at it. So here we got this button. So hit the button, and it immediately dispenses out the water here. There's a delay that's all hooked up here, so as we go along, each of the dispensers activate as the water reaches it, and it gets down to the bottom here. And hopefully what will end up happening is that once all the wheat has made its way from the top to the bottom, you'll see up there it is, the water automatically shuts off and then proceeds to do that the same all the way down. There you go. Nice. And for me, it's a very complex system. To you guys, it might be, that's nothing. That's nothing. But here's the little step that I got going on here. So if I can make it there. So as soon as I hit this button, of course, it dispenses the water from here. And then a signal travels down here, and it hits all these delays, and it goes down to the other dispensers down there. But the problem with that is that I don't want to leave it on and, just have the water flowing all the time. Of course, I want the water to turn off so I can replant my crops and, grow more wheat. But, well, here's the thing. I had to try to figure out some sort of delay system in order to have this thing turn off by itself, because I don't want to, mess around, kind of get a little bit of automation going on. So I decided, everything being controlled by this one button, I just have to hit it once, and then, it would send the water down, and then at some point with this whole delay setup here, it would send another signal at a delayed amount of time. And all these repeaters here are set to the maximum amount of delay. So it gives this I don't know how long it is exactly, but it gives us just enough time for all the wheat to travel all the way down to the bottom. So the problem that I ran into was that I hit the button, it dispenses the water, and then this thing all cycles through, and it, goes through, and then the signal repeats again to activate all these things to turn off. But the problem was that it would cycle through again, and then it would create this loop, this never-ending loop. And for me, that wasn't going to work. So here's what I did. Here's the thing that broke my brain. Right underneath here, of course, this is the block that powers everything. I have another setup right here, and it is redstone that just travels underneath here separately. And right here is a little piston, right? So the idea behind it is that when I hit this button for the first time, the piston will activate and transfer its signal directly through the block and then through the repeaters for our delay. Now, the cool thing about that is that when the whole thing has finished going through its delay, it sends the next signal down. So after a bit of time, sends the next signal down. And then if you could tell, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this properly without going into too much of a mumbo jumbo. So it sends the next signal down, but then it also crosses over again to send a signal up here to turn off, right? But the problem with that, the problem that I was running into is that right here, it would loop over and over again, right? So the piston, what it does is that it doesn't activate because that piston is only controlled by this one button and not by this whole signal setup I got going on here. So what ends up happening is that the signal stops there, it doesn't repeat over again, and ta-da, we get wheat, and I don't have to push the button twice. That's all that it did, really. All that work just to not push the button again. But it's the fun of Minecraft, really. So that's all figured out, and I hope you could understand what I was trying to say just now. But redstone's not really my thing. It's not really my thing, but stuff. It's a cool thing for me to try and figure out. I love the challenge of doing things that I don't know, or things that I'm trying to do for the first time. I love trying to figure those things out. But for this episode, and what I think we're going to do is we're going to gussy this thing up a little bit. As you can see, it's not really looking its best. I think that what will end up happening is that, I'll cover up all the dispensers and all that stuff, but I really want this area to be kind of like a main focal point for our little workshop. And as we go along, we're going to be building up this entire area right here, getting our main house and everything else set up. But for this workshop, I wasn't too keen. If you were watching my earlier episodes, I wasn't too keen on having this as kind of like what I wanted the final design to be. I kind of wanted it to be like that. And we're going to kind of emulate this structure here, and we're going to incorporate it into here. So I have a design in mind, and it was actually inspired really by you guys, by the fact that I need to automate it just a little bit. And because that button's all the way up there, I had to figure out a way to try to get from down in our workshop up here. And it's a little bit of a creative way of doing it. And that's what we're going to do this episode. So the first thing that I need to do is to get rid of all this messy stuff right here. I did see in some of the comments you guys really did enjoy the the birch wood here. And I said dark oak, but it's not dark oak. It's something else that escapes my mind right now. The joys of commentating over yourself doing Minecraft. But I'm going to get rid of most of this facade here and the rest of this, and from there we'll be able to get to work on a new front here. So I'll do most of that off camera, and I'll see you in just a bit. All right, so as you can see here, I have a little bit of a setup going on. I have a basic outline of what I want to do, but the next thing that I think should be on the list is to get going with this front facade area. And if you don't know how to spell facade, the last time I said the word facade, a lot of people had some trouble spelling it in the comments. So if you don't know how to spell it, that's how you do it. I know that sometimes there is a little thing that goes underneath the C, but it's kind of a preference, and I don't know how to make that on the keyboard, but that's how you spell it. So just so you know. So for this front facade, I kind of want to go along the lines of what we got going on here, but at the same time, I want it to be a little bit different. And how I want that is really for you to find out. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna run over here and I'll just quickly show you what we got going on here. I know that I think a couple episodes ago I said that we're gonna start building a bridge, and I haven't gotten around to that yet. That'll be another episode where I kind of add some pathways around here, and yeah, that'll be a good episode to kind of tie everything in. But you can see here, we have the little indent here, which I kind of like. That's what I want to incorporate into the build. And also the way the roof kind of pitches. Now, it's not going to be as high as this one, but I think what we have going on here, what we're gonna have going on here is going to be a nice little compromise, because I don't want it too big over there. I want something that kind of mirrors this, but at the same time is a little bit different. And it's always a good thing whenever you're building, to get like a theme going on. And when you start to build stuff, add a little bit something different to each build here and there, but at the same time keeping the same theme. I'm just gonna sleep just for a little bit. Just want to get rid of the night. There we go. All right, so I think what we need is to get some blocks on the bar, some spruce wood. There we go. I may end up cutting some of this stuff out, because obviously you don't want to just hear me going but also my voice isn't really up to par today. And if you guys are wondering why this episode is a little bit late, usually I like to keep it, once every 2 or 3 days something comes out on my channel. I've been having some issues, having health issues, I guess you could say. I get sinus headaches every once in a while, and it's not really the best thing in the world. You kind of just want to shut the world out and you really just don't want to do anything. And it's actually one of the reasons why I work from home, is that it allows me to kind of just rest up. And if you think you're so lucky you get to work from home, it's not really the best thing in the world, because then your bosses think that you're available pretty much 24/7, and I tend to get a lot of work throughout the night, and this stuff needs to be done now, or whatever. But that's just a little glimpse into my life. But I think this is what we're going for here. I'm gonna just jump. There we go. Just like that. And then I'm just gonna do this temporarily, these blocks right here, because I have another thing in mind for it. Like that. Oop. Panicked a little bit. And like so. Like so. Look at this. Look at this. All right, let's take a look. Okay. Now, that's kind of what I'm going for. Maybe I had a little bit of a different thing going on here, but that's okay. This will work just fine for us. As it is a workshop, I think a little bit more of a plain approach to it will be, it'll give it a better, well, more of a workshop feel, right? And we got to get rid of those. And we'll put that there, like that. There you go. Let's take a step back. Let's take a look at that. All right, so just a little bit of a detail or a little bit of an enhancement there. Kind of fills in the area just to give you just a little bit of a different look to it. And, it's going along the same, theme that we have going on here, but at the same time, just a little bit different, But the next thing that I want to do is I want to build up this area right here. And in this space, I got to clear out this whole space. We're going to put in a little bit of an accent area here. Well, it's not an accent area, but it's something that will help me get from down here to up there. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, so check it out. I have right here a little bit of I'm trying to go for a workshop feel. I don't know if I'm going to be able to achieve that, but the idea that I'm going for is sort of like a workman's like attitude, just get the building up. But at the same time, we want to add in a little detail here and there. So I kind of went for a plain look. Our starter house over there kind of has these little things, these little feet that come off the end of it. I decided to leave it out in our workshop area, just because it's not really a necessary thing. The feet are more of a decorative type deal, and for us, for a workshop, you just want to get the building up. At least that's my thought on what a workshop should look like. So it's kind of got a plain feel to it, but at the same time, I think we got a little bit of detail here and there. Now, of course, in the middle, if I can get over there, God, I can't wait to start building bridges in this area. Wading in the water is not really a good use of time, but you can see here there's this empty space, and I'm kind of struggling with trying to figure out how to join the two together. There's this area right here. There's some inner parts that need to be covered up. So I'm kind of struggling with that area. But what I want to do next is to concentrate on the inside, and this is the thing that I was talking about earlier, was that I need some way to get from down here up to there. Originally, I thought with the wheat farm, I would try and have a lever or some sort of button in here that I would just hit, and then it would just automatically harvest the wheat. But I kind of want to watch all the wheat being harvested. So I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of make a little stairway to go up to the top where there's a button, and then where there's that button that I was talking about earlier, and from there I can watch the whole process being done. So in order to do that, we need to set up some stairs, and that's what we're going to do in here. Now, the idea that I have going on here, and hopefully it works, is that if we can do something like this. All right, so check it out. Obviously, I'm going to have to move around these furnaces, and this bed's probably going to have to go because it's in the middle of everything. Also, this anvil has to go. So a lot of interior things need to happen before we start cleaning up this place. But check out the stairs. This is what I was going for, and I really like how it turned out. The way it works is that it's completely made out of spruce wood stairs. And what I really like about it is that it kind of mirrors the underside, mirrors the top side. And it kind of gives that little spiral effect. That's what I'm going for, a little bit of a spiral. Originally, I had cobblestone in here, in between these gaps. but I figured that because I want the stairs to be kind of like a focal point, I didn't want to have the background be too messy visually. And so, keep everything the same in the background here with the birch wood. And so that it highlights the stairway that we got going on here. So I really like how that turned out, except when we get up to the top. This is going to be something that I'm going to have to figure out. Not really the best way to get up here, but I think if I rearrange some of the redstone, maybe move some things around, I think it could work out just fine for us. But before we end off this episode, I thought that we would try and harvest all these crops here. As you can see, I've got a full crop waiting to be harvested. So let's check it out. Let's see if this system works. Yep. I see a problem already. What happened here? Dispenser works. Well, it's not bad for a first try. I got most of the water working. Maybe not that strip right there. But I'm trying to. The main point is that hopefully everything makes it down to the bottom. I know there's some spillage over the edge here. But I can see everything's made it down to the bottom, and then I have this little water block right here, and it kind of pushes everything into what is supposed to be a hopper, and I can see a little bit of a problem. But let's just check out what we have here. Yeah, the seeds are getting in, the wheat not so much. I think we'll have to figure that out, but maybe in the next episode. I'll probably have to work that out off camera, but what I wanted to do was to show you a little bit of what I've been working on. And if we jump right down here, check it out. This is a little mining setup that I got going on. If you go down one lower, or a couple blocks lower, you can see I have a mine going on here. It's nothing too spectacular just yet, visually, of course. But I hope to be doing that in future episodes. I got a little enchantment table with the bookshelves here. It's been getting me a lot of these tools that you see here, so that's worked out real great. And down here, if you notice, I have I took it out, but I had a sticky piston, and if you're wondering where I got that from, it's right over here. Using I think if you just Google slime spawn chunks, there's none here. But if you Google slime chunk finder, you just click on the first link, and it takes you to a site where you can find out within your seed the different slime chunks that you can find. And I found this area right here, and it's 3 chunks that are right next to each other, and I've kind of dug out this area. I think in one of the future episodes I hope to make some sort of a slime farm, and put a little touch on it, a little Perry touch to it. So that's gonna be it for now. That's gonna be it for this episode. So don't forget to leave a like if you so choose. Leave your comments, of course, because I love hearing from you guys. And if you're new to the channel, hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Keeps you up to date on everything that goes on in my channel. So that's it for me. Always remember, keep your head up, and I'll see you in the next one.